Hello, welcome to Odd One Out. If you saw my video from last night, welcome back. This is the second video of the channel. I still intended to have parts of my intro included in this one as well, and more moving forward, just so we can kind of reinstate the purpose of this channel, what to expect the topics to be, just the kind of a general overall vibe. My head's kind of spinning though. I reside in Oklahoma, and our governor, Kevin Stitt, just dropped an executive order that, effective February 1st, 2025, all state employees must return to the office. There will be no more remote work. This is straight out of the playbook of Project 2025. It follows in the footsteps of Ryan Walters' crazy decisions regarding Trump Bibles and praying in classrooms. Not just praying in classrooms, excuse me, it's a video of him praying for Trump to be played in all classrooms. So, just head is spinning. My wife, and especially the reason being my wife works for the state. We just moved to the Tulsa area. We're not in Tulsa, we're in one of the suburbs. And her agency is in Oklahoma City. And it is the only building, physical building for that agency. Tulsa is not an option for her. Kevin Stitt expects my wife. We just moved. She has a fully remote job. Kevin Stitt expects my wife to suddenly be back in the office in 45 days. As if as if that's enough time if things aren't able to work. Is he even thinking about people like my wife? Absolutely not. You really think Stitt is thinking about I hate to be too much, especially for my right-wing viewers that are watching, but I'm just going to say it how it is. You really think Kevin Stitt cares about the women of Oklahoma? You really think he cares about the women? And to further this point as well, my wife's agency, her department is completely female. I don't think that a guy like Kevin Stitt is thinking in his office, okay, so I want to make this executive order that is going to require no approval from state Congress. I'm just going to pass this executive order, and we're going to make it effective February 1st. There will be no more remote work. This is, effective with the Trump presidential campaign, effective with his presidency. February 1st being very close to the date that Trump will be inaugurated in office. And just right out of the playbook of Project 2025 about eliminating remote work jobs within state and federal agencies. Here we are. This is America. Welcome to America, where you can be living in a fairly unknown state like Oklahoma, like my own, and have a mandate, vastly overreaching, massive government that effectively puts you out of a job in 45 days. 45 days is not enough time for anybody, really, to find another job, another career job, doing what they do, doing what they're qualified for. MAGA, the president and his cabinet, the incoming president and his cabinet would know nothing about qualifications. So I don't expect some of those to be in the same cloth of thinking to understand what I'm talking about. But to expect 45-day turnaround is preposterous. This is America. This is Oklahoma. We're not supposed to be some targeted place or we're not California and the government or the federal government's coming after us. No, this is our state government. This is not even Trump. This is Trump Jr. in a sense. I truly think a guy like Ryan Walters tries to be Trump Jr. Stitt, obviously much the same. These are the leaders of our government in Oklahoma. Every single county voted red. And perhaps you've seen this stat floating around. It's pretty interesting. There were 2 states out of the 51 territories that voted. 50 states, 51 territories. And only 2 states voted completely all counties a certain way. Oklahoma voted all red. Every county was red. Every county was Trump. Massachusetts was all blue, was all Harris. I'm gonna sneak this in again. Notice how I said Harris and not, first of all, Kamala, let alone Kamala. How you actually say her name. It's just this weird thing. I'm sure you don't sit there and think, huh? Why is it a big deal that we say Kamala? Because we don't call any other politician in history, pretty much, in modern days, that we talk about by their first name. We don't say old Bill. We say Clinton. We say George W. Bush or W. Bush or Bush. We never just say George or George H.W. whatever. We don't do none of that. We don't go Donald. I've never heard somebody talk about Trump like, hey, did you see what Donald did? Like, Donald from the playground, who are we talking about? Like, this is, and talk about the names. What is up with the names? And why does Trump got to say Barack Hussein, emphasize it? I'm not the one to emphasize it. I'm just repeating it just like he does. Barack Hussein Obama. You ever heard about him? Like, what's the deal with these names? Why are we saying Kamala? Why are we saying Barack Hussein Obama? Like, what other politician's middle name do we use? Are there any other? Does Trump use any middle name of anybody else? No, he does not. So, anyways, back to the point I was trying to make. This is America. This is Oklahoma. This is where I live. And excuse me, the Oklahoma where I live, who voted all red. Massachusetts voted all blue. Oklahoma has 49th. They're 49th out of 50th in education. They're among the top welfare states. They are among the top gun violence states. And then and GDP per capita, my goodness, like I have one of the lowest states. And I love Oklahoma. Please do not get me wrong. I think I'm just hating on my state. I could easily move if I wanted to. Massachusetts, I think they were number 1, 2, or 3 in education. They're top 3 in education. They are number 1 in lowest gun violence, and they are also in the top 10 of GDP per capita. This is no coincidence. First of all, the average Republican registered voter is less educated than the average Democratic registered voter. And this is not me spewing out of, this is from Pew Research, who is one of the most reputable surveyors of this type of data. That the higher your level of education, the more higher percentage chance that you are a Democrat. This is literally just stats and facts. And it's so funny to me, I guess, and I've actually heard this argument before, that it's the universities and they're making everybody liberal and they're changing the minds of the youth and manipulating them. No, it's literally getting a better understanding, doing research, accredited research, not, oh, my buddy Bob told me, or this is what I think, rather than, Harvard business says blah, 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 or the Bureau of Labor Statistics says blah, blah, blah. These are not coincidences. And, tonight's a little bit of a rant because of the situation that my family is in, thanks to Kevin Stitt. Really appreciate you. Thank God you're going to be out of office soon enough, and you won't be able to run again for governor. So, toodles. But this is where we are. This is the world that we have chosen. This is the country we have chosen as Americans because we don't care too much, or it's all about owning the libs, or there are obviously genuine good faith people that are like, no, this is the way that it should be done. Okay, if that's the case, if you have genuine good faith, can you not assess what's going on, clear your mind of any kind of biases, take in information, take in data, do not take it in from Twitter/X, Elon's disinformation machine, where he will issue false statements or retweet them to the tune of tens of millions, sometimes hundreds of millions of views, and then once corrected, such as has happened on 2 different occasions now in a short time span, by Pete Buttigieg fact-checking him, Elon asking for the fact-check, Pete providing it, and Elon stating, oh, okay, thank you so much, that was good feedback, the community authors or whatever will fix it. And those tweets are literally, I think they call it piping it down, and get about 10,000 views, as opposed to the tens of millions and hundreds of millions viewed disinformation. That is a right-wing issue right now. I don't think they're going to address it. I don't think they care to address it. I don't think they want to address it. They think they have a mandate that, fake news, Harvard's fake news, it's liberal. It's just a liberal university. It's all manipulated. But Trump, forget the 4-star generals. There's been 2 different 4-star generals that have said he is unfit to serve. But we'll trust Trump instead of the 4-star generals. This is what happens when you allow your life to be run by a cult of personality. You allow yourself to be put to the side thinking this won't affect me. There are going to be some Trump fans out there that are in the shoes of my wife that are facing the same issues. And I hope that they sit there and they even though it wasn't Trump that made this decision, it was Stitt. It's of this exact same playbook. There's a reason why Stitt's doing this. And I hope they sit there and look at themselves in the mirror and say, why did this happen? Is this a good thing? What's wrong with this? What's right with this? How did this happen? How can we prevent this? What did I do about this? Did I vote for Trump? Did I vote for Stitt? Did I vote? How about that? So, just really interesting times we're living in, for sure. I don't intend on many, hopefully not, of my videos to be so ranty. But sometimes you just gotta say it how it is, and that is something that I always intend to do here. I'm gonna tell it how it is, and that's also gonna involve calling out the left on many issues as well. Stuff that's very uncomfortable to sit here and admit and talk about. But I don't want to give up. I don't want to drop dead and just roll over because Trump got elected. No. Because Stitt and Ryan Walters are in office. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be leading governmental efficiency decisions. No. I'm not going to just roll over. It is up to us to the love that we have for our country needs to be what drives us to instill the change we want to see. And that's what we intend to do here at Odd One Out. And that's why I made this channel. I wanted to partake in it, whether it be as little as possible in my very clearly rookie setup. We just moved in. You can see that yellow box behind me. Thanks, Kevin Stitt. We just moved from Oklahoma City because we didn't anticipate an executive order that wouldn't be worked through the state Congress to completely affect our lives. Appreciate you, man. So, I think that's about all I have for today. I appreciate you if you checked in, if you made it all the way through. I would appreciate it if you click the subscribe button. And we will keep this thing rolling. Have a good evening.